Kurunji Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
Free bus for LKG to 8th standard.
Free, hygienic and nutritious food.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
Kurunji Education Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurunjischoolnkl.in.
In continuation to the last class, in this class, we are going to discuss about various forms of energy and the law of conservation of energy. Various forms of energy and including that various forms of energy, once again we are going to discuss. That is what the law of conservation of energy. But in our previous classes, we discussed law of conservation of mechanical energy. But here I have written law of conservation of energy. Energy is only one, but it is available in different forms, no? That's why I told you various forms of energy. But till now in our discussion, we focused on only mechanical energy. So which is the combination of, that is what kinetic energy and potential energy, right? Kinetic energy means it is based on the motion. So the energy possessed by a body due to its virtual motion. And potential energy means the energy possessed by a body due to its configuration or position. Configuration or position. Okay, right. What I already told you, according to that, energy comes in many forms, which transforms into one another in ways which may not often to clear to us. So what he is saying is, energy is available in different forms, in various forms, which transforms into one another also. Which transforms into one another also, but sometimes it may not clear to us because how it is converting from one form to another form. Okay, right. So here you can see, that is what I am saying. Energy comes in many forms, which transforms into one another in ways which may not often be clear to us. Okay, right. See this. First we are going to discuss about heat energy, right? You know very well, in our last example problems and in our last topic, that is what when we dealt that work energy theorem, including non-conservative forces. So there we talked about frictional force, right? You know very well, frictional force is a non-conservative force. Frictional force is a non-conservative force. However, work, right? Work is associated with the force of friction, that you know, force of friction. So what we discussed in our example 6.5, example 6.5, right? So there, so in example 6.5 we discussed, that is what is the role of force of friction dealing with or related to work, right? Next, a block of mass small m sliding on a rough horizontal surface, sliding on a rough horizontal surface with a speed v0, comes to a halt over a distance x0. So he explained one small situation, that is what a block of mass small m sliding on a rough horizontal surface, with a speed v0 comes to a halt over a distance x0. Right. In this case, that is what the work done by the force of kinetic friction, the work done by the force of kinetic friction, small f over x naught is minus f x naught. So you know very well that is what generally work is the product of force and displacement, no? Right. Here frictional force is a non-conservative force. You know very well the work done due to non-conservative force is path dependent, is path dependent, right? So here the amount of work done in case of this situation is minus f x naught, right? By the work energy theorem, by the work energy theorem, m v naught square by 2, m v naught square by, that is what, of mv square, no, that is what kinetic energy, of m v naught square is equal to f into x naught, f into x naught, okay, that is full stop. If we confine our scope to mechanics, if we confine our scope to mechanics, because mechanics is an important and oldest branches from physics, no? Just if we confine our scope to mechanics, we would say that the kinetic energy of the block is lost, the kinetic energy of the block is lost due to the frictional force, due to the frictional force, right? So what is that? We would say that if we confine our scope to mechanics, we would say that the kinetic energy of the block is lost due to the frictional force, due to the frictional force, right? Okay. At the same time, we also keep in mind, on examination of the block and the table, on the examination of the block and the table, we would detect a slight increase in their temperatures, right? So when a body moves on another surface, there is a slight increase in their temperatures. So we can conclude that, we can say that the work done by friction is not lost, but it is transferred as heat energy, is transferred as heat energy, right? This raises the internal energy of the block and the table. This rises, this is what, so whatever the energy lost into heat energy rises the internal energy of the block and the table, right? Okay. And not only this, generally in winter, right, in order to feel warm, in order to feel warm, sometimes we generate heat by vigorously rubbing our palms together, rubbing our palms together, right? So that generally we are experiencing, right? Next, we shall see later that the internal energy associated with, right, the internal energy is associated with the ceaseless, often random motion of molecules, often random motion of molecules, right? So in our, that is what, generally behavior of gases, when we are studying about behavior of gases and behavior of gas molecules, behavior of gas molecules, there we may got it, we may get it, right? That is what, the motion of molecules increases the internal energy of the gas, right? Next, a quantitative idea of the transfer of heat energy, a quantitative idea of the transfer of heat energy is obtained, is obtained by noting that 1 kg of water releases about 42,000 joules of energy when it cools by 10 degrees centigrade. I'll repeat once again, because he is going for practical, right? So when we go for practical calculation, when 1 kg of water, 1 kg of water releases about 42,000 joules of energy when it cools by 10 degrees centigrade. For example, 1 kg of water is at 20 degrees centigrade, right? Now that 20 degrees centigrade temperature of water comes down to 10 degrees centigrade. So when the temperature of water, that is 1 kg of water, downs from 20 degrees centigrade to 10 degrees centigrade, we can say that it releases, the water, the 1 kg of water releases 42,000 joules of energy, right? Okay. So in this discussion, that is what, in this heat discussion, what he is saying is, Frictional force is a non-conservative force. When we are talking about the amount of work done by force of friction, there is a loss of energy. But if we confine our discussion, if we confine our scope to mechanics, this energy is not lost. That energy appears in the form of heat energy. This heat energy increases the surfaces which are in contact, right? So, meanwhile, he also given one small example, that is what when 1 kg of water decreases its temperature by 10 degrees centigrade, it releases 42,000 joules of energy. Okay, right. Next, chemical energy, right? Next, we are going to discuss chemical energy, right? Okay. So, one of the greatest technical achievements of humankind occurred when we discovered how to ignite and control fire. So, that is what 1,000 years ago when human found when when the ancient human found the fire by, that is what, by taking two stones, right, and hitting, that is what, by making two stones, that is what, hitting one stone with another, he found that he identified that a fire has taken place. A fire has taken place. That is what the initial days of survival. Now, so when we are going to rub two stones together, that is what, here we are spending mechanical energy. We are spending mechanical energy, right? So by spending mechanical energy, when you are rubbing two stones, right? So they will heat up. They will heat up and they will ignite a heap of dry leaves. That is what chemical energy. Chemical energy, and then which provided what is that warm, no, that is what, for example, in our winter morning, early morning time, we used to sit in front of the fire. Okay, so now we are using matchsticks, it's okay. But once upon a time, how it was, right? Once upon a time, just by taking two stones, right, just by rubbing one stone with another, so we produced fire. Okay, so here, after producing the fire, if there are any dry leaves, what will happen? These dry leaves will give us a fire, right? So here, that is what, chemical energy. So dry leaves means chemical energy. Okay, right. But nowadays, a matchstick ignites into a bright flame when struck against a specially prepared chemical surface. You know what is matchbox? If you see the surface of the matchbox, on two sides, one side and other side, there are two surfaces. So those two surfaces are chemical surfaces. If you take a matchstick and if you strike it against the chemical surface, you will get a fire. Okay, so the lighted matchstick, when applied to a firecracker, results in a spectacular display of sound and light. Okay, so that's, what happens when a cracker, right, when a firecracker is going to explode, right? Now, so it is just now what I told you about chemical energy, so which was how it came into limelight. Okay, from ancient days to today date, what happened and what we observed and what we did regarding the chemical energy. Now, if you go for the practical situation, that is what's going to happen now. See here, chemical energy arises from the fact that the molecules participating in the chemical reaction have different binding energies. I'll repeat once again. Chemical energy arises from the fact that the molecules participating in the chemical reaction have different binding energies. Is the point number one, important point. The reason he is saying for chemical energy. Next, a stable chemical compound has less energy than the separated parts than the a stable chemical compound has less amount of energy than the separated parts. Next, a chemical reaction is basically a rearrangement of atoms. A chemical reaction is basically a rearrangement of atoms. Next, if the total energy of the reactants is more than the products of the reaction, heat is released and the reaction is said to be an exothermic reaction, right? So in chemistry you are getting what is exothermic reaction and what is endothermic reaction, right? So when the heat will be released in one chemical reaction, it is said to be exothermic reaction. Afterwards, if the reverse is true, if the reverse is true, heat is absorbed and the reaction is endothermic. Reverse is true means if heat is that is what, if heat is absorbed, if heat is absorbed, it is endothermic. Next, coal consists of carbon and a kilogram of it when burned releases about 3 into 10 to the power of 7 joules of energy, right? You know very well what is a coal, which consists of, right, a carbon, and he is saying that 1 kilogram of carbon burns means it releases 3 into 10 to the power of 7 joules of energy. 3 into 10 to the power of 7 joules of energy, right? 3 into 10 to the power of 7 joules of energy. Okay, right. So afterwards, we can also say that chemical energy is associated with the forces that give rise to the stability of substances. For example, if you see, if you observe carefully, these forces bind atoms into molecules, molecules into polymeric chains, etc. Right? The chemical energy arising from the combustion of coal, right? The chemical energy arises from the combustion of coal, right? Okay. So next, cooking, that is what chemical energy arising from the combustion of coal and cooking gas, wood, petroleum, right? And indispensable to our daily existence, right? So what he is saying is, from all these things, that is what combustion of coal, cooking gas, and wood, petroleum, right? So these are all the examples of containing or possessing chemical energy. Chemical energy. Okay, right. Next, our discussion is electrical energy. Our discussion is electrical energy. See here, ma. So the flow of electrical current causes bulbs to glow. You know very well. The flow of electrical current causes bulbs to glow, and this is what fans to rotate and bells to ring. You know very well. That is what whatever the bell we have in our school also rings because of electrical energy, right? So there are laws which governs. There are laws governing the attraction and repulsion of charges and currents, which we shall learn later. That is what in our coming chapters, right? But you can say that energy is associated with an electric current. Energy is associated with an electric current. So on an average, one urban Indian, one urban Indian household consumes about 200 joules of energy per second. 200 joules of energy per second. This is about the calculation of electrical energy about regarding that India. Okay, right. Next, the equivalence of mass and energy. The equivalence of mass and energy. Okay, see this ma. So here we are going to study the relation between mass and energy. You just see the point of, that is the viewpoint of energy only, right? Don't go the beyond, because our class is talking about various forms of energies, right? Okay, see this. Till the end of the 19th century, many physicists believed that in every physical and chemical process, the mass of an isolated system is conserved. The mass of an isolated system is conserved. Okay, right. You know very well, matter might change its phase. For example, glacial ice could melt into a stream. Similarly, but matter is neither created nor destroyed, right? So what he is saying is here, you know very well, that is what, again, I want to go back to, that is what, law of conservation of energy. That's we already discussed in our previous classes also. Only the small statement I am saying. Energy is neither created nor destroyed, but it converts from one form to another form. One form to another form. Okay, right. So Albert Einstein, the famous scientist, showed that masses and energy, right? Mass and energy are equivalent and are related by the relation E is equal to mc square. E is equal to mc square, right? So that is what he is saying. E is equal to mc square. So based on this formula E is equal to mc square, we can calculate the amount of energy released when we burn certain amount of mass. So in this formula E is equal to mc square, E is the energy, okay, but m is the mass. M is the mass and c is the speed of light in vacuum. That is what approximately 3 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Okay, right. So here the amount of energy associated with 1 kilogram of matter, 1 kilogram of matter, we can calculate. That is what ma? So here it is 1 no. So mass is 1 kilogram, c is 3 into 10 to the power of 8 whole square. So you will get it as 9 into 10 to the power of 16. 9 into 10 to the power of 16 joules energy will come when we burnt 1 kilogram of matter, right? Okay. So this is equivalent. This is equivalent to the annual electrical output of a large power generating station. This is what 9 into 10 to the power of 16 joules is equivalent to the annual electrical output of a large power generating station. That is what 3000 million. That is what, okay, you can say that ma 3000 mega, because mega means 10 power 6 here. 3000 megawatt. 3000 megawatt. Okay, right. Next, our discussion is nuclear energy. Right now we are going to discuss nuclear energy. This nuclear energy has a great importance in our life. That is what we prepared. Man prepared destructive weapons, the most destructive weapons made by man. That is the fission and fusion bombs. That is what the hydrogen bomb and right, atom bomb. The fission and fusion bombs are manifestations of the above equivalence of mass and energy, right? You know what is the impact in our history? In our history, we came to know what is the impact of hydrogen bomb and what is the impact of atom bomb, right? That is what here. On the other hand, that is what the explanation of the life nourishing energy output of the sun is also based on the above equation. That is what nuclear fission. Now in our sun, what are the nuclear reactions are taking place? So nuclear fission. So hydrogen is available. Hydrogen is going to convert to form, that is what deuteron, and then helium, right? And again hydrogen. So it is a cyclic process. Meanwhile, the energy is releasing continuously. That energy we are going to receive in the form of heat and light. In the form of heat and light to this planet. Okay. So you know very well, in that case, that is what sun nuclear reactions, right? In this case, you know, effectively 4 light hydrogen nuclei fuse to form a helium nucleus, right? Whose mass is less than the sum of the masses of the reactants. Whose mass is less than the sum of that. That is what, okay, right? Whose mass is less than the sum of the. So see here, ma. On the other hand, the explanation of the life nourishing energy output of the sum is also based on the above equation. In this case, effectively 4 light hydrogen nuclei fuse to form a helium nucleus. To form a helium nucleus whose mass is less than the sum of the masses of the reactants. Less than the sum of the masses of the reactants. Okay. This mass difference is called as mass defect. This mass difference is called as mass defect. So you can calculate the energy by using that formula. That is what delta m into c square. Delta m into c square. And in fission, a heavy nucleus like uranium is split by a neutron into lighter nuclei. Afterwards, once again, the final mass is less than the initial mass, and the mass difference translates into energy. According to that formula, you can calculate, that is what delta m into c square. Delta m into c square. Okay. So which can be trapped. So whatever the energy we calculated, that can be trapped and to provide electrical energy as in nuclear power plants. As in nuclear power plants, that is what controlled nuclear fission, controlled nuclear fission, right? And can be used also in making nuclear weapons. So what we discussed, right? Powerful nuclear weapons according to the point of science and technology, right? Science and technology, right? Okay. And in continuation to that, so whatever here we are in a discussion, in continuation to that, we can also say that the energy released in a chemical reaction can also be related to the mass defect. That's I already told you, ma. Delta M is equal to delta E by C square, right? So for a chemical reaction, this mass defect is much smaller than for a nuclear reaction. For a chemical reaction, this mass defect is much smaller than for a nuclear reaction, right? And in our textbook there is also one table. So that is what so how much amount of energy we will get with respect to various situations or various matter. That is what, for example, Big Bang 10 to the power of 68 joules. Similarly, suppose if you take turning of one page in our textbook, it is 10 to the power of minus 3 joules. Similarly, thunderstorm 10 to the power of 15 joules. Similarly, rotational energy of the earth 10 to the power of 29 joules. Like that, there is one table also, ma. You please go through the table, then you will get what is that one idea, one imagination is possible when we are going to see a different kind of examples in our physics subject. Okay, right. And once again, I'll revise. In this class, we concentrated on various forms of energy. Even we didn't go to the law of conservation of energy also. Just we are in a discussion about various forms of energy. There we discussed heat, chemical energy, electrical energy, the equivalence of mass and energy, and then nuclear energy, right? So mostly our concentration is heat energy, chemical energy, electrical energy, nuclear energy, right? In heat energy we discussed, so non-conservative force, that is what is the reason, and there heat energy will be developed, that is equal to loss of kinetic energy. That is what, ma? Loss of kinetic energy, and which is available in the form of internal, rises the internal energy of the surfaces. And then in case of chemical energy we focused, right? In case of chemical energy we discussed, so where the chemical energy is available and what is exothermic reaction and what is endothermic reaction, right? In electrical energy, how the electrical energy is available in our surroundings and what is the use of electrical energy and all we discussed. Afterwards, here we discussed Einstein's equation, that is E is equal to mc square. Afterwards, in nuclear energy, we discussed what is the use of nuclear energy in our daily life, right? And where it is available naturally, right? And what is nuclear fusion and what is nuclear fission. This is all we discussed. Okay, ma? Right. So this is all about various forms of energy. In our next class, we will continue with continued topic. Thank you.